Hey guys, I'm Nick with Azure Tips, and today I'm going to walk you through creating a virtual machine in Microsoft Azure. And if you're new here, I'm an inside sales rep in Microsoft working with our small to medium business, our startup, and software companies on their journey into Azure. And I created this channel to share some of my learnings while out in the field.
So to follow along with me here, you'll need an Azure subscription. So you can either set one up with an Azure free trial. I'll put a link to that in the description. You can also follow along with one of the sandboxes as well. So to get started, I'm going to click on virtual machines, and then we're going to go to create an Azure virtual machine. So you're going to select your subscription here. It might look as pay as you go for you. And then for the purpose of this one, I'm just going to create a resource group. And the resource group is just a container for all your resources to sit under. For the virtual machine name, just call it YT test, and I will deploy it into Australia East. And we're going to create a Windows server. Cool. So we can leave the size as is. That's a pretty standard SKU, D2S. The spot instance, we're going to leave that unchecked, but that's just going to you allow Microsoft to reallocate your compute when not in use, so it'll save you a bit of money, but it's not recommended for production workloads at all. For this purpose, we are going to stick with a kind of dev test scenario as well. So this is important. I do get a lot of challenges with some of the customers I work with where they've forgotten their credentials here. You need these credentials because we're going to use it to log in and connect to our virtual machine via RDP. So please store these credentials or remember them somewhere. Use a password manager or something like that. So I'm just gonna create mine. The ports as well. We're gonna use RDP and HTTP AT. And cool, we can go ahead and click review and create. Yep, looks good. We'll click create. Okay, great. The development is finished. So we're going to click go to resource. We can see that the status is running. So we can now connect to it by going up here and clicking RDP. Now we're going to download the RDP file and we're going to open this up and click connect. So we're going to go more choices here and then we're going to click use a different account and OK. Right, so remember the credentials that we needed to remember here? I'm going to use those credentials to log into our IDP and we're just going to click yes. All right, great. So yeah, our virtual machine is loading up now. Okay, cool. So we're in our Windows Server environment. As you can see, it looks exactly like how you would expect it to look. We've got Server Manager loading up as well. Now, if you wanted to deploy a website to here, you can install the web server on here by running a PowerShell command. So we're going to run install Windows feature name web server include management tools. Okay, cool. So that's been installed now. So we'll get out of our virtual machine. And if we go back to the configuration here, what we're actually going to do is we're going to copy and paste the IP address of our virtual machine and we'll be taken to the IIS default page. So that's it. That's how you create your virtual machine and set it up as a web server in Azure. If you want to tear all this down just to save yourself some cash, best way to do this is to delete it at the resource group level. As I mentioned, this is the container for all your resources. You can see the resources that were created when we deployed our virtual machine. So the VM, the network security group should be in there as well. So we'll just go ahead and delete this resource group. Okay, great. Thanks for watching, guys. Let me know if I missed anything or if you've got any questions. I can run through that in a follow-up vid.